Wingspan is a place full of birds. Your goal is to build a wonderful preserve that will lead you to victory. Learn new facts about birds. Blue jays can carry up to 5 acorns. Discover new species. Help them lay eggs. Gain food. Or even hunt. Become a bird enthusiast. Wingspan, a relaxing strategy game.
Lavender Legal Center is a nonprofit providing legal representation and related advocacy by and for LGBTQ Iowans. Lavender provides direct representation, advocacy, and referrals, with a priority for serving those with low income and LGBTQ youth. Lavender operates with 4 main core values. The first is equity, recognizing that legal aid and related advocacy are basic human rights. Second is inclusivity, providing equal access to services for those who are marginalized. Third is dignity. LGBTQ people are worthy of advocacy no matter their specific need for assistance. And fourth is compassion. LGBTQ people in need of legal services come to the matter with great vulnerability. To best serve those individuals and families, Lavender Legal Center must have concern and understanding for their sufferings. Your support of Lavender Legal Center helps further the mission to provide legal services, advocacy, and resources for the LGBTQ community. Together, we can build a more equitable, inclusive, dignified, and compassionate future.
For it. Good to go. We're live.
Hello and welcome to Roleplay Give. We are a tabletop gaming community playing in the virtual space here on Twitch. Today we will be playing Esper Genesis. If you're not familiar with Esper Genesis, it is an adaptation of the 5e rule set for sci-fi, adventures in space. And we'll kick right off here. When we last left our spacefaring larcenous spacefarers, I'm not sure what our title should be here. They had successfully purloined a ship from the industrial moon of Fala C, the ship called the Holiday. Through a careful planning and not a small amount of luck, they were able to escape the planet with the ship. And when we left off, they had micro jumped away from Fallacy in order to get away from pursuing spacecraft. And while floating in space, had a conversation with Holiday, a virtual assistant or ship's computer that appears to be more of an AI and less of a simple computer program. They noted that Holiday used a possessive pronoun and spoke about herself in a way that stood out as much more individual than most computer systems in the galaxy are, and mentioned that she would like their help in what they determined to be liberation of her sentience, her being. They also determined that in the ship's archives, there were a number of trips to a space station in the Keshite Rift. I don't believe we gave that station a name last time. It is called Tetra Station. And they set in a course for that. And when we left off, they had entered hyperspace in that direction. One of the other things that Holiday mentioned to them at the end of last time was that there are a number of compartments within the ship that evade sensor detection. And there was a comment about wanting to determine what that meant. But otherwise, they have escaped an industrial moon where they had been trapped by capitalism run amok, and have escaped with this ship. Now, immediately after leaving the planet, Arturo Desch, the owner of the ship, did open communications with the ship, letting them know that he is aware of it and threatening reprisals. And that is where we left off. You are currently in Lightspeed on your way to the Keshite Rift. Unlike what we might see in some of the more recent Star Wars movies and TV shows, travel through this is still at light speed, which is not immediate. So it is a couple of days between Fall Sea and the Keshite Rift. So you'll have a little bit of time. So
Well,
what would you like to do?
we did agree, right? We did agree, I think, to help Holiday. Like that was 100% part of the bargain to do the free the genie thing.
I think it was off stream, but yes,
Yeah,
I think
okay.
in helping Ed plan.
Yep.
I think we gave him that hint.
Okay. So, but we as a group have a reason for not just going our separate ways. Is because we're going to help. Like that's because I'm like Allie wants to be a rock star, but we're gonna work together first to get Holiday safe. So
Benefit concert.
that could help the concert for Holiday. Yeah. Or the kids' holiday concert. It either could work. I just now decided I need to have a notebook because I want to take notes and I don't own one.
You obviously don't have the same addiction that I have to little notebooks because I have so many, and I don't take notes for anything. I just love little notebooks.
Well, I have a bunch, but each of them was a sketchbook, and so there's like sketches throughout them. So okay.
Many of mine have become that because I've given them to Leela, who has turned them into sketchbooks.
Yeah, that's what I would think. All right. Well, I'm just gonna take some notes on this, and we'll go from there. All right. So I'm sorry, Ed. Repeat one more time. What's the name of the space station? It was the Western or what? The
Tetra.
Tetra. Okay.
Tetra.
Tetra Tetra station, and that's where we're heading.
Correct.
And we have a couple days.
Maybe we should try to find some of those, compartments to make sure we know what is on the ship before we arrive at the station.
Good choice.
That would be my suggestion. Yes.
I would also like to spend some time with the days that we have. Also, if we haven't ascertained this, and I don't know if we have, what we need to do to get Holiday independent. What tools do we need to do to get that set up?
Certainly could attempt to research that using the databases on the computer. However, while in Lightspeed, you're unable to access the nets.
Okay.
because the ship is traveling at light speed and can't access those. So
Mhm.
you'll need to wait until you've exited to access anything beyond the databases within the ship itself. Um,
And Holiday doesn't have any idea how to do this. Otherwise, Holiday would do it theirself.
uh, what Holiday told you last time is that she is firewalled off from certain
Right.
sections of of ship's computers, and has no access to the greater network beyond the ship.
Okay.
And we restored navigation to her. It was navigation and life support, right?
Navigation and life support are the two that she told you she could not access. In watching last week's video, I believe you were not able to connect her to either. You were able to
Right.
determine the firewalls were there, um, preventing her from accessing those, but you were not able to overcome them.
Got it.
Let's do Micah's plan.
I mean, we can all just go around and start knocking and seeing where there are compartments, or maybe there are like better ways of figuring this out. We could ask where the compartments are.
Yeah, that could
I
work.
don't know how hidden they are.
Can I ask Holiday and then be, I just said what Micah said. I have one job on this ship.
Holiday says, I am not 100% certain where these compartments are located, as they do evade sensors, and I do not have visual sensors. The only way I have of observing the ship is through the sensors within the ship itself. But I can give you a rough estimate as to where these compartments are located. And she'll indicate areas of the ship where she has what she refers to as sensor dead zones.
Okay.
Makes sense, yes.
Ed, can you give us some? Sorry. Go ahead, Corey.
No, please. No, go ahead.
Can you give us an idea of how large Holiday is? Like, is it Millennium Falcon sized? Is it like two X-wings? What like?
If we
Millennium
do
Falcon
it
is
in
probably not.
non-Star Wars terms, that would
Oh,
be helpful for those of us who
okay.
don't know.
Yeah,
Also-
it is.
Also, can we refer to Holiday as different than the ship? Holiday is
are-
very sensitive about this.
Oh,
they
I
are
forgot
both
about that.
named Holiday.
Okay.
So you could ultimately rename the ship if you'd like, but currently, Holiday is what the AI calls herself, and Holiday is also the name of the ship.
Impolite to ask someone how big they are.
But the ship has crew quarters for up to 6 people in bunks. It has a relatively decent sized cargo hold that can carry a decent amount of cargo. It has some minimal ship's weapons. I would say it is much larger than like a single seat starfighter. There is a full engineering section. There is a cockpit for a seat with a seat for a pilot and a co-pilot. There's a gunner station. So it is much larger than than like a starfighter. It has a galley. It has the means to. So there is a kitchen and like you could live on this ship. I would say as far as um, it'd be like living in a very small house.
Okay.
Is what the interior of the ship feels like as far as size. Probably between 800 and 1,500 square feet of space within the ship.
Okay. So now I'm picking up, and I know I'm not just from my using my nerd references that I know that I think Ed knows, like slightly smaller than Serenity on Firefly.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Okay.
I have seen Firefly,
Okay.
so that's a reference.
That one went over Daw. Okay.
It's a little smaller than the Millennium Falcon as well.
Okay.
To mix our references.
Gotcha.
More similar to a Troke freighter. For those of you who played West End Games D6 Star Wars.
Oh, I did not. So that one I don't have. You got. All right.
If you played Star Wars RPGs in the early 90s.
Yeah, you got me on that one.
And
Okay,
you know.
but I got a good idea of what we're talking about.
And that's Troke spelled with a G.
Like you'd think, it would be. Uh, um,
Dawson, you would love it. It's spelled Gtrohc, pronounced Troke.
I thought, well, maybe
Well,
it
it's
ends
lying
with
to
a
you.
G, and I'm thinking it sounds like a K, but it's a G. I don't
yeah,
know.
yeah, rough, tough, all those G sounds.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, so, um, let's go looking for in the dead spots. I'll follow
Yes.
Micah.
Oh, I'm sure I will be very good at this. Yes.
So, because you have a couple of days, provided that you are willing to spend that time, I'm going to lower the DC on an investigation check to locate the compartments.
Well, Micah's
And you can
definitely investigating, but I'm hoping other people will.
you can
as
either
well.
roll these separately, or someone can roll with advantage if you are assisting each other.
Investigation.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Why am I not seeing?
I'll
Oh, there it
roll
is. Okay.
separately then,
Nope.
since no one's saying anything.
Oh, I can help somebody. Well, to help, do you have to have proficiency to help?
Well, he just said we could roll
Oh.
separately, or someone could roll with advantage, and now two of
Okay.
us have rolled. So,
Okay.
if you want to help investigate.
Eh,
Oh my gosh,
We are very consistent.
Yeah.
that's pretty.
I am lowering the DC though because you have a lot of time to look. Is Paklu just using Jonathan Normal's sheet?
No, I switched things up.
Okay.
He
'Cause
looks in just he looks like in the equivalent of what the glove box is in the front seat, and that's all he looks for.
Just because your roll says it came from Jonathan Normal, so it's beyond the grave. But Fiverr, you discover while looking in. Allie and Micah are spending a lot of time looking in the cargo area, storage areas of the ship, which seem like a sensible place for this sort of thing. But Fiverr, you, having not being not as aware of how organics might operate, you are searching in the living quarters when you discover a panel in the flooring that you're able to lift out. And your mechanical or robotic suit that you use echoes heavily on the floor, and you find a hollow spot, and you lift out the floor panel and find a large shielded magnetic compartment underneath the floor in the living quarters, and it is not empty. Inside, you find a number of items. There is uh, um, a crate, metallic sealed crate that, when you open it up, is pressurized and sealed, and inside are a number of spices, some exotic, some not legal within organic systems, having um, mind-altering capabilities, for things that could be considered narcotics in a lot of cultures. But a large spice cache. You also find a computerized item that seems sort of half repair, that looks like you could, if you wanted to spend some time deciphering what it does, you could do that. There's also a small box full of what look like ancient cultural artifacts, the sort of thing Hobby Lobby might steal. Um,
Nice.
and and also another what looks like like a harness that could fit a person, but has a number of or electrical systems built into it. You're not able to tell what exactly that might entail. And the last thing is a data pad that has no power, but looks very, very old.
I will let everyone know what I found, and I will see. I'll look at the not data pad, the little electronical unit that's in half repair.
Okay.
I'll tinker with that.
And this is a larger item. It looks like it might be a component for a ship.
Okay.
But yeah, if you want to, let me pull up your sheet so I can remember what the skills and abilities are in this game.
Yeah, and yeah, it doesn't have to happen right away, but that would be the thing. Maybe the data pad a little bit. But, yeah. Yeah, being focused on sort of the task at hand, Pfeiffer would be more interested in the piece that looks like it might solve this.
And when Fiverr gets all of your attention to these items, anything else anyone wants to look at? Or
Well, Robin, did you want to buy a reroll there?
No, I donated to the
Okay.
charity.
Now,
Yeah.
that gets you a reroll.
Oh, does it?
Yep.
Oh,
But thank you.
Okay. Then I can buy a reroll. I
Yeah.
just was like, oh, I'm watching this. So
I just saw that it came up on the screen and I was like, oh, that buys a reroll, so you have a reroll.
oh, okay. Anyone can use it.
You can
that
put.
needs
Do you want me to
it.
put it in the pool? Okay, I will put it in the
Sure.
pool. All right, cool. Thanks,
Yeah.
and thanks for resubscribing, though. Okay, sorry everybody for the interruption. Just doing the housekeeping. Holy crap! All right, sorry.
I mean, it sounds like Fiverr's looking at a couple of things. I notice I have like a scholar background that gives me this legwork thing that it says you know how to find information even when it's been buried deep within old data files or blah 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 blah. Or you know someone who can. So this unpowered very old data pad, if it's not powered, obviously I can't like get stuff out of it, but would it be something where it's like, oh, yeah, with this kind of archaeological background, I might know someone or know, you know, be able to place it as far as like even just how old it is or where it might be connected to?
yeah, let me look at the list here. So the first thing that you'll need to do is make a mechanics check to try to power it. Because it is a very old technology, it doesn't have the same interfaces. It's like it doesn't. It's pre-USB.
Okay. Mm, 17.
But that's plenty to jury rig a power unit to it. And very slowly you see the screen start to flicker and then light up. And what languages do you speak and read, Micah?
Well, Common, Terran, Protean,
Was Terran one
and
of them?
yeah, Terran, Protean. I'm not sure how to say
Yeah.
Protean, Protean, and Volna. Yeah, so I have 4 languages.
Okay. It is written in Terran.
Oh,
And it appears to be a logbook from an explorer from Earth called who's named Ava Nova.
Great name.
And as far as you can tell, this is from very, very early on in the humans from Earth venturing into the galaxy.
goodness.
It makes reference to a ship called the Untethered Stargazer.
Was that like her ship then?
It appears to be.
Okay.
And these are ship's logs. Um, and there's a lot of information here. And it seems to be written in what looks like possibly a personal shorthand. So it's going to need some deciphering to get much information out of it.
This is interesting. If you like history, this is I forget, is Allie human?
Allie is human.
Okay. So I think Micah would share that with Allie definitely because, this is your people's history as they took to the stars.
I I wish I'd taken the time to learn Terran, but uh, I don't.
You don't. You don't have Terran.
No, I have Common,
Oh.
ShadowNet, and Volna. I, I didn't take. I thought it was kind of fun to just take Common
to
and
not take the human
and 'cause
language. Yeah.
we're on Fola Sea, so I was like, it'd be kind of fun
Yeah.
to be disconnected from my heritage. So,
Right.
um, so I should probably learn though.
Yes, that might be. Well, I can try to decipher some of it and share it with you then.
That'd be great. This is. I kind of want to look at the drugs, the spicy illegal drugs. Um,
Okay.
uh, I mean, I don't think that I've written Allie to be like somebody who's a drug runner or anything like that, but did have shadier connections on Full to See. Any chance I'd know anything about their worth and
Yeah, I would.
why they'd be on the ship, or like they're clearly being smuggled. I mean, that's obvious, but
Yeah. So I would let you make a medicine check to determine what you can about these spices themselves, or I would let you describe to me what skill you might use if what you're trying to determine is their value, and that might be just an
I
intelligence
was gonna
check. But
say
if you have a skill or something that you think would apply.
I mean, my lore and my intelligence are the same. I would think lore might be what I would, because I was more like, do I know what these are? Not necessarily what they do, to the body, but more,
Hmm.
are these like good street drugs or etc. So, I'll just do a straight intelligence.
Yeah.
Nice.
Uh, yeah, you are able to determine that this is about half and half. These are all things that could be used in culinary arts for different cultures, but some of them are essentially narcotics to other species. Um, but essentially this would be the equivalent of someone smuggling saffron in like Columbus's day. Um, it's an extremely rare spice, and this is a collection of extremely rare spices that would have a lot of value to a chef, but also maybe to people interested in the narcotic elements of some of the spices.
Okay, so this is very much like you said, in the age of quote unquote discovery, spice smuggling.
Right.
For whatever purposes, whether it's still highly valuable. And okay, so
Yeah.
well, this is interesting. I'll just explain all of that. I'll knowledge everybody on that. I mean, I'm no expert. I wouldn't know how to cook with any of this stuff, but I also wouldn't ingest some of it. It's kind of like picking a bad mushroom or something. I didn't do a medicine
Well,
check, so I wouldn't want to.
and maybe if we are able to sell it, we can invest in our free holiday campaign with the money that we,
Oh,
you know.
that's a good idea. We'd have to find somebody who's willing to take undocumented, contraband.
I'm sure in the Keshite Rift, that is where Desh went, right? So maybe there are contacts there already.
Yeah, maybe, but he knows
And
where. Oh, go ahead.
oh no, you keep going.
Uh,
I don't
uh,
want to interrupt.
Desh knows we have his ship. He probably knows what's here. So, I mean, kind
Mm.
of. We actually, to me, that's kind of another reason to get rid of it as soon as possible.
Hmm.
Um,
And maybe not find his contacts, but
yes, exactly.
another one.
Because they're gonna, yeah, we need to make sure we don't sell to his people, because then we're putting our head in the noose, so to speak.
Hmm. We just ask people if they like spices.
Yeah.
You spice.
Do you spice?
How do you
I know.
how do you guys feel about saffron?
Hmm.
I feel great about saffron. Saffron feels great about me. That's a deep cut. Sorry. Mellow Yellow by Donovan. Too far.
That
Okay.
was it. That was it. Okay.
They
Yep.
call me
I mean,
Mellow
it was like
Yellow.
there's something way back there.
Yeah.
I was getting there.
Anyway.
Uh, Fiverr, you were checking out the ship component that is here. You can give me
Right.
either a computers or mechanics check to run a diagnostic and determine what this is.
Right.
Uh, and
No
you're
reason
able,
for a yeah. No
yeah,
reason for an advantage.
you're able to determine through connecting this to your datapad and diagnostic systems and running through it. This is the majority of a ship's cloaking system, but some
Okay.
essential components are missing, so it is fully non-functional.
Um,
But were you able to restore it, it would function. You could install it as a cloaking system. It also is a number of these are highly specialized parts and could have a lot of value.
hey, Ed. Uh, Gameplay wise, is there any chance you could give us a spare character sheet for the ship? I realized I was just about to make some changes on my sheet. So
Oh,
on the
just
character sheets, the starship's a toggle, but we
uh-huh.
wouldn't have the same ones. Like if I, in other words, is there a way you could give us a blank sheet that we could all make notes on?
Oh, sure. Yeah,
That, am I making sense? Sorry.
I think so. Yeah.
Um, because like the starship, we can flip off to starship, but I realize if I'm making it on mine, none of you are going to see it.
Yeah.
So maybe we can start just what we know about the ship.
That's a good idea.
All right. There should be a sheet in there
Yep,
for holiday.
I see it. Edit sheet directly. And then we go to starship. All right, thank you. I'll just start putting.
And I put
things I know.
that in everybody's ownership and everybody's journal. So you should all have that.
Validate the ship, and so I'm going to put under defense systems unfinished cloaking device.
And we can populate the starship sheet if we want to. I can walk you through what we need to put in for all those stats if and when we end up needing them.
I just figured for sort of a notepad for all of us as we're some of this stuff, like there's ship's cargo on there and stuff like that, rather than put it on our character sheets. It might be.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's
Yeah,
fine.
I think that
Nice.
makes sense.
Very cool. Yeah. Awesome.
And one of the other things that you had found, Fiverr, was harness with electrical systems. Is that at all similar to the rig that I wear?
It's not.
Okay.
It appears. Well, if you'd like to give it more of a look,
I could look at it.
um,
Yes.
you could give me a mechanics or computers check
Oh,
to see if
not
you can figure out what it does.
good at these things. They're not my specialty. Ah, it's not mine. I don't know. Do you guys know what this is?
It looks like it's sized to fit a humanoid. It's a harness that would go that would fit over the body. But yeah, you're not able to determine much else about it.
Mine's better.
It
I
does
mean,
not
if you're,
appear to have it does not appear to have any defensive capabilities.
I mean, if you're asking for device information, I know a thing or two about a thing or two.
Well, take a look at this. I thought it might be cool, but now I don't know.
Well, hold on. Let me put this in autopilot. Uh-oh, button here, button here. That's the right switch, I think. Oh, no, that's the left port. We keep that off. There we go. That button there. And I will use one of my Esper powers to analyze device.
Okay, great. You are able to determine that this is a holographic disguise unit.
So you see here, this is a holographic design unit, and what it does is
disguise unit.
This-
It's essentially a hat of disguise.
you can wear it as a hat, and you can be something else to other things.
However,
I have
with
one job.
using analyze device, you're able to determine that the power unit on this particular holographic disguise unit is unstable, which could lead to glitches and malfunctions in its use.
There's like a 0.2% chance you'll disintegrate yourself, but yeah, you know, you'll be fine.
That's a scary chance.
Al-
Or
al-
maybe you will glitch between several different images, and it would look like you're changing shape. Oh, that would be unfortunate.
I was gonna say probably inopportune. Yes.
Mhm.
Uh, is there any way to repair that we know of?
Certainly is possible that you could find a stable power unit for it.
Okay. Well, that might be very worth us having.
Mhm.
Um, Also, should we maybe put our friend Jonathan's remains in one of these storage containers so that they can't find the body of a dead person in our ship if we have to land anywhere?
It's big enough to contain them?
I don't know.
Yeah, it would not be like for one of you to get inside the compartment, you could do that, but it would not be comfortable. Jonathan is unlikely to complain at this point.
And
We can cut his legs off.
I mean, there's also
Back
always
him.
the airlock. You could just throw them out there.
Oh,
Oh.
that's true.
But, you know, putting him out to the airlock at light speed, you know, rip apart every fabric of his being.
Well, I
But you
feel
could. Depends on how much you like the guy.
Paklu, you know that having done this in a simulator, opening the airlock in Lightspeed could be very bad for the entire ship.
But there is also like a 98% chance that we all just turn into spaghetti.
98. I would call that bad odds. Bad odds.
Well, I once heard someone in a simulation say, never tell me the odds. That's why I did all the risky stuff.
That's true. So maybe we just. I don't know. I don't know that we need to cram his body into a small container, but I was thinking that if we have to go through any kind of checks, or we could like dress him up as if he's being brought back home after dying, and his dying wish was to be brought to this place to be interned.
Yes, his mother is waiting for his remains so they
Yes.
can, have some sort of ceremony. I'm sure a perfectly normal, average ceremony.
Well, yes, he's going in front of the final accounting of his life.
May you always be in is it the black? Is
Yes.
that a good? Yes, may you always be in the black.
Unfortunately, he was shot to hell and he's in the red, but we can clean him up a little bit.
Wrap him in a sheet or something? I
I
don't
think
know
so.
what.
Yeah. Can we find like
What do
something to
you?
make it look like a burial shroud kind of thing? Well, you're an archaeologist. Maybe you would know burial rituals or something.
I mean,
Or
I'm a geologist,
I mean,
oh, I thought
there's
you. Oh, I,
buckets.
I thought you were an archaeologist. I'm sorry.
No, no, I
Oh,
mean, sometimes
uh,
you find things in the rocks, but
uh,
usually it's, bones, not something that is all.
I
he
mean,
kept.
there's probably bed sheets in the spare room.
That's true.
Yeah, you can absolutely find sheets if you'd like to.
Okay, I'm gonna spend some of our time making it look like he's being, you know, transported. I'll try cleaning,
Uh,
use up my makeup stuff and everything to make him look like he's being prepared for internment and whatever.
Allie plays mortician.
Yep.
the one thing that you do not have is any sort of casket.
Yeah. Okay. Well, maybe
His
they.
mother has that,
Yeah.
right? They've
You're
got that taken
transporting
care of.
a body just out in the open, and after a couple of days, it's not likely to be a very pleasant
No.
experience.
Put some spices in it. Hurry
Well,
it up
well,
with the spices.
well. We honestly we could, but then, mm,
Not the expensive ones, though.
is there any kind of fabricating or anything on this ship? We don't have any tools like that of that nature, right?
There is like there is a workshop in the engineering section, but mostly what's there is electronics and that sort of thing for fixing ship systems. There's not a lot of creating hardware stuff, like not a lot for fabricating what's structural elements.
And with my 19 on that intelligence roll, can I pick the least expensive spice? Uh,
Yeah,
and then I'm gonna rub it into the sheets and I'm gonna mummify him in that spice.
I don't know that it has the desiccating quality that you need for
No, no,
mummification.
just not mummify him, but wrap him in sheets as if he's like
You
I'm.
just
This is actually like not just the Egyptians, but a lot of the Mesopotamic, I believe, was like a spice, like at least Jews anyway. They would anoint and cover in sheets, and it wasn't necessarily the strips and the desiccation, but before they were entombed, they would be spiced and oiled and then covered in cloths and wrapped, but not entombed, or not sorry, not mummified necessarily. So that's kind
yeah.
of what I'm going
Um,
for, is this sort of wrapping up in spices so that he doesn't stink as bad, and also so that it looks like we actually were doing something ritualistic.
yeah, I would make go ahead and make a body preparation check.
Okay, I was gonna say, where are you going with that one? Entombment check. I almost want to. Well, I guess
Make
medicine.
a respectful care for the dead check.
I think that's gonna be medicine for me. Okay.
Yeah, I think that
There's a
makes sense.
xenobiology as well. Is this the same? Ooh,
All right. Goal.
Yeah,
nice.
you've wrapped Jonathan in sheets and anointed the body with oils and spices from this smuggled spice kit. And
I feel a little like
certainly
sacrilegious about this, but
certainly someone who might be unfamiliar with Terran internment rites, you could fool easily, and there's probably a lot of Terrans you could fool with this.
awesome. And Jonathan also was Terran, so
Oh, that's
perfect.
right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That's why I'm mentioning that.
Yeah.
'Cause-
Makes sense.
So all right, cool. So we have a little less to worry about with the stink. And then if we need to, we can use this as a cover.
and are you laying him out in the cargo area?
Yeah, like if there's any kind of like cargo boxes or anything that I can make to look like some kind of beer or, funeral presentation thing, I would do that. If they're big
Yeah,
enough to
I
have
think
his
you can.
5'8" body on, or however tall he was, but and just make it.
Uh,
Probably
A
yeah.
very, a very,
Well,
a very average height.
He's very average, so he's 5'10".
Yeah, his average height.
Yeah.
Remember the average height of an adult male.
Of adult male in 57, 86, or whatever year it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and I'll just make it look presentation style and really do that up. And then I'm going to take some video of it because Allie can't help themselves. I'm not obviously.
You know,
Can't,
I was heard of this influencer named Paul Logan who did a very similar thing, got a lot of trouble.
yeah. Good point.
Just saying.
Good
What do I
point.
know?
Good point. But I'm still going to take video of it anyway. All right. And that's what I want to do with my time.
All right. Anyone doing anything else in the time while you're in Lightspeed?
I mean, I would spend some time with the story of Eva Nova and see, at night, especially as I'm reading before bed. So I would take some time just to try to decipher a little bit more.
Um,
Good idea.
yeah.
I
I
don't
would
think
say,
there's a sense of urgency about it, just interest, right? Like it's just more of oh, I'm going to do some light reading before bed, see what I can find out.
yeah, I would say you can either make an investigation or insight check to try to determine.
I'll do insight just because I haven't done one yet.
Oh no.
I don't have bonuses in many of these things that I've been trying. So this one is like, I just don't understand these humans. They use words that just
Yeah,
don't make sense.
and Ava Nova appears to have written this in, as I said, like a personal shorthand. It's more like a code than anything, and you are not able to crack it.
It is so complicated. Oh well. I also will reiterate that my vote for renaming the ship would be the normal. Like Holiday can be the AI, but Micah had said it would be nice to name the ship after Jonathan, who gave his life to acquire it. So
I agree.
at some point, I would reiterate that. And then we won't be so confused, right?
Right.
We've got a ship name different from our little computer friend.
I like it. I could go with the ship being the normal.
The ship has a registration, but if someone would like to try to forge a new registration for it, they can.
I know that person should not be me.
I'm not sure I'm a forger. What kind of check would that? Would that be more like a thing Fiverr could do, or is that more of a thing that a special?
Well,
a
forgery tools is a tool set.
Okay, I have
Um,
infiltration and
but I
disguise.
think I would say I would allow hackers tools to do this.
Not me.
Because you're trying to essentially modify code that's used in the registration of the ship.
Is that some Fiverr? Do you have hacker's tools or Paklu?
I do. Sorry.
Okay.
Deep in the player's guide. I do.
Well, this is my tools. The ship. All I got.
Mm. Well, I mean, we just really appreciate you flying the ship for us, Paklu.
Well, you did held me at gunpoint, so I kind of don't have a choice.
No, but you've been very, very understanding about the entire thing, and appreciate your attitude. Because
Well, when my life's at stake, I kind of have to be.
no, I know.
That,
No.
that makes me feel like a bad person. I don't want to feel that way.
Well, let's start with the basics. One, is this your ship?
Yes, now it is.
No, it was Mr. Dash's ship. You commandeered it, as I think one of you put it, making you one of those things like Sparrow Jack did in some Earth movie I watched many times before.
But we're going to use it for such good. He's imprisoning Holiday on the ship, and we're going to free her. See, we're the good guys. Yes?
Right. Very good.
Well, I would like to apologize for threatening your life. Appreciate your assistance.
Your Stockholm syndrome ain't gonna work on me, human.
I don't know anything about Stockholm. I know it's from where my people.
I think it was a city. I think it was
Not-
a city or something.
But I appreciate it, and wherever we get to, if you would like to leave, please count to 500 trillion before you turn us in.
That's like way more than like my lifetime.
I know. That's what I'm asking for.
I'll be dead if I do so. So you're asking me to go and die before turning you in. Also, you forget. Now I'm a fugitive to Mr. Dash as well because of you, rapscallions. You made me pilot the ship.
I'm sure
That is not normal.
I am sure that if you went and told him everything that you knew, he would forgive that you could help find us later.
You're the one that used my security card to get into the building. He's gonna think it's me and I was in on it.
So it sounds like he'll kill you.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying.
So logically, you would have to stay with us.
It's my best chance at this point. I don't know. Do you think he already sent men after us?
Oh yes,
Yes.
absolutely.
But yeah, probably
What if-
after you. Really, he doesn't know who we are.
What if they're already waiting at the docks when we get to this place that we're going to? That's name I forgot because I'm scared.
I would drive faster though
No.
to make sure you go
We are
before them.
traveling at light. There's nothing faster than light.
But all this complaining can't actually,
Actually, you
sounds
can
like
because
it's slowing us down.
we can't go any faster than we already are going. We're
But
at
you see-
max speed.
Fiverr here
sounds
is going
like-
to rename the entire ship, so when we dock, they won't know it's the Holiday. It'll be a new registration. We'll be perfectly safe because Fiverr is so good at what Fiverr does.
And Fiverr, as you are working on that, you are able to change the registration, but you think that if anybody looked very carefully, they would know that it was not properly changed. Like it would be sufficient to pass an initial glance, but if anybody looked any deeper, they'd be able to tell that it's not. The registration was altered.
Don't get audited.
So you can choose whether you leave it changed or you change it
Listen,
back.
Jonathan Normal, you're dead. Stop giving advice.
No audits here, Jonathan.
Yeah.
So are you leaving it? Are you changing it to the normal? with that check, or are you going to change it back to avoid anyone seeing that it was altered?
I think the party's plan was to change it, right?
To
And I'm
change
just,
it?
Fiverr is
Good.
aware that there's a risk, a
Right.
very high risk of being discovered having altered it with that check.
I think Fiverr would still go with it.
I
Okay.
feel like if
I
we
think
go
Fiverr's
in registered as the holiday, and Desh has probably put out some kind of APB for the holiday. If this is what we got. I mean, we're gonna get caught if we go in as the holiday. Well, I don't know that for a fact, but because I don't know how much reach this guy has, or if he even wants the whole world to know that the holiday's missing. Like, not the whole world, the whole universe. Like maybe he doesn't. Maybe this ship is like really low down, and I mean it wasn't registered on Fola Sea, so
Holiday. Did the previous owner of this ship have any specific contacts in the port we're traveling to that he communicated with regularly?
My records indicate calls placed to certain frequencies within Tetra Station. I can relay those frequencies to you.
Sure. Well, I mean, if we have any way of, probably not to attach them to people, but certainly for note.
Yeah, she will give you 3 different comm frequencies that she says Dash regularly used when visiting Tetra Station.
If any of those 3 contact us, will you make sure to give a dead channel, basically that we're not there. I don't want one of those people calling us and us answering the phone.
Yes, I
Right.
will sever communication with prior contacts.
Did you just block all his friends?
I think it would be silly if someone answered the phone.
Yes.
We know
No,
it's
I
a
agree.
friend of theirs.
no,
I agree.
we just ghosted his friends.
Yes.
Which is awesome. I mean, none of us have really been off Fola Sea, right? So we wouldn't have any contacts at Tetra Station.
No.
And so what's our
Now,
play when we get
I
there?
would say, based on backgrounds, Allie, it is possible that you could have a viewer who might be here.
Yeah.
Not that, I mean, as an internet celebrity, you may not want to make actual connection with any of those viewers, but and you may not know that they're here. But it is entirely possible that you could have people that you have interacted with on the SoulNet that could be on the station.
Okay. Allie's. Go ahead.
Of the things that we brought with us, I think this was the other thing Fiverr would do for security purposes. Of the things that we brought with us, Fiverr would go through and see if any of the individual items that we brought or things on the ship could be detected somehow. Whether like if like a beacon, if maybe our ID cards or something like that, he would just sort of spend his days systematically going through and just making sure that there's no way to track us. And
Okay.
there is one of those items, he'd put it in that cargo hold.
Give me an investigation check.
That's the holiday. That's why. Fiverr. Is the Roll20 interface a little slow for all of you moving around?
Not
I
too
haven't
bad.
tried to make a check or anything, so I don't know.
I feel like mine's been okay.
Yeah, mine's been alright, but
And just flipping between tabs has been a little bit of a chore.
Yeah,
yeah, got a
maybe
good
that's
roll out of
why.
it though.
So I'm going to let you keep the nat 20, but your that's intimidation, and your investigation is a
Oh,
little bit better than that.
oh, did I? I don't have my glasses on. Sorry.
Yeah, you hit
Yeah, you hit
Oh yeah,
intimidation, but
sorry.
it's a nat
Yep,
20. I'm going to let you
yep.
keep that.
Yeah, it would be 24. Sorry.
Um, so you are able to determine that the only thing that would have a distinct identifier that could be sensed from outside, from beyond anything, would be the ship itself. Um, you have things like weapons have power packs that would be sensors, like the sensors would pick up, knowing that they could be identified as weapons from a sensor sweep. Like people would know
Right.
that there's rifles and things on board. That's not abnormal. Um,
Right.
Piracy is a real thing. Every ship is going to have some degree of weaponry. So that sort of thing is all detectable in a sensor sweep, but not identifiable on its in its own right. The
Right. Like
only
so, we don't like if I can rephrase that so I understand. So that we have guns is obvious, but not that those guns came from the factory we just escaped from.
Correct. None of them are
Okay.
identifiable as this specific item or where they
Right.
came from. Um, the only thing that is identifiable in it on its own from a sensor sweep or anything like that would be the ship itself.
Got it.
And having changed the registration, it will register at least on a cursory glance as the normal and not as a holiday.
Right. Okay.
Alright.
That's it for. I think that would take some time for Fiverr to do.
So right now our plan is to get to Tetra Station, figure out if we can unload this spice to somebody who is willing to do a off market a unregistered transaction to get some cash to help fund getting the holiday independently, like autonomy.
We also have to figure out what we need to do to actually, you
Right.
know,
So we need to find somebody.
accomplish that.
So we need to find somebody who's like what kind of person do we need to do that? Do we know?
Well, my
Uh,
understanding is once we get out of hyperspace, we might be able to do a little more research
Okay.
on that as well, right? Because we can't access.
yeah, once you're out of hyperspace, you can connect to the nets and potentially find do more research.
Gotcha. Well, uh, when we get to, I'm gonna ask my colleagues, including Paklu, uh, uh, when I I have like, and I don't know what's a reasonable amount of viewers for somebody who is a reasonably decent, you know, uh,
38 billion.
yeah, 30, like in a galaxy, how many is it? But I have a reasonable. I'm not a super popular YouTuber. I'm a mid-level YouTuber. Uh, so which is still pretty good. And say I have this, I can look more like my persona if that's. Do you think that would be helpful, or is that going to draw attention to us? I don't even know which way we should go with that. I mean, I there are people who might recognize me and then might be more amenable to helping us. I could even look once we can, get on the net to find out if there's anybody there that I have a contact with. But on the other hand, you may not want to draw that much attention.
So I confess, I am not one of your followers. Is
That's
your content
that's
is your
probably
content
best. Um,
above board, or do you sometimes share things that might attract followers who might have some not so legal connections. I
Oh,
don't even know
What type of
what you call.
content do you produce?
Yes, yes. What kind of contact
um,
content?
well, it's mostly just straight entertainment stuff. I do music videos. I do reaction stuff to other people's music. I've done some like comedy work, but nothing where I've done anything that I do on the outside just to make ends meet. I really would love for this to be my full-time thing that I just want to entertain people, but like it's hard to entertain people when you live on a mining rock and work your day job as a HVAC and technician. Uh,
So you could really have followers from all walks of life. Really, they just
I
like the
also do
same
I,
music.
I do beauty tips as well, and that's what I think people really look to me for. So
Well, if you make music videos, why not you just say, "Hey, every follower person, I'm here to go to this Rift place and make music video. Any places I should go? Mm?
ooh, that's an
Get the
interesting.
audience to be in comments and stuff, and get things out like that."
Huh. That's a great idea.
I
Uh,
also tend to go on the medias of social, but we do more. I do certain things like tutorials and like look at reviews for other things, mainly flight simulator stuff. Like cool mods you can add to it too. It's like, oh, it's so fun. You ever heard of a Bowie 74D7? They don't fly well in space.
Oh, maybe that is what
oh,
Nova meant.
You can
Her
blow the
call.
doors right off.
oh yeah, you could. Um, I think that's a great idea. So maybe when we get out of Lightspeed, uh, I make a quick video that, hey, come into the Keshite. Where's the best place for me to go and make a new, holla, whatever. Make a new video and see what people
But
say.
but do we even know it's called Keshite? Are you sure it's not Keshite?
I've heard it
Oh,
pronounced both ways.
I'll be right back.
For it both ways. oh.
This is the shittiest station ever.
Okay. Phew.
Uh, Keshite.
Keshite.
It has an
Oh.
inflection on the end.
Boy.
Okay, well, I'm
Or it's a very long E. Keshite.
Keshite.
Thanks for joining us, guys. Donate to to a charity.
Thanks for coming to our shitty stream.
oh, oh God.
As we explore the languages of the universe.
That's
You think
right.
it's tonal?
It could be.
Keshite.
Well,
There could
That-
be a glottal stop in it too.
joking aside, if anyone,
Shit.
none of you are Kesh or Keshite, would anyone like to make a xenobiology to see what you know about the Kesh as a species?
Sure, that I do actually have proficiency.
Oh wow, I have a very high score here.
Oh, go ahead. You go ahead.
No. Then do
Do-
well.
I know Jonathan Normal had xenobiology. Do I have xenobiology? Don't.
I have a +4.
I
but-
know rocks. I know rocks from other planets, but not people.
Do you know any rock shaped like Keshites?
Possibly, but I don't know what a Keshite looks like.
Any Keshiti rocks? Fiverr, you're familiar with the Kesh, at least on some level. The Kesh are naturally empathic, so it's possible that there's a an element of the name that is not actually tonal at all. That it's um, something that registers on an empathic level. Um, they are they value exploration and knowledge. The other thing that you know is that the Kesh do not have a home world. You don't know why that is, but like all of the other species that you're familiar with have a specific home world, and the Kesh do not. Their primary homes are within stations throughout the Keshite Rift, but they are largely nomadic.
Well,
I
that might
will.
explain why they are so empathic if they have to like blend in with other cultures.
But their desire for exploration and knowledge also means that they're very technologically advanced amongst the species.
I will relay that all in a monotonous stream of a single sentence.
I just
That is very informative, Fiverr. Thank you. Do they have rabbits in their culture? Do you know?
Unknown.
Unknown.
They may have if they ever had a home world. Maybe it had rabbits on it.
important to know.
Perhaps the rabbits are the reason they do not have a homeworld.
Dark rabbits.
Perhaps rabbits are not as nice as my data files indicate.
Well, your primary data file was Watership Down, wasn't it? So like rabbits aren't
Yeah.
necessarily friendly.
No, some rabbits are dynamite. Sharp,
They're
pointy
brutal.
teeth.
So if there's nothing else, I would say let's take a short break before exiting Lightspeed and
Sure.
arriving at Tetra Station.
All right, we'll be back.
So we'll take maybe 10 minutes. Be back at 12 o'clock Central Time.
Perfect.
Got it.
Wingspan is a place full of birds. Your goal is to build a wonderful preserve that will lead you to victory. Learn new facts about birds. Blue jays can carry up to 5 acorns. Discover new species. Help them lay eggs. Gain food. Or even hunt. Become a bird enthusiast. Wingspan, a relaxing strategy game.
Lavender Legal Center is a nonprofit providing legal representation and related advocacy by and for LGBTQ Iowans. Lavender provides direct representation, advocacy, and referrals, with a priority for serving those with low income and LGBTQ youth. Lavender operates with 4 main core values. The first is equity, recognizing that legal aid and related advocacy are basic human rights. Second is inclusivity, providing equal access to services for those who are marginalized. Third is dignity. LGBTQ people are worthy of advocacy no matter their specific need for assistance. And fourth is compassion. LGBTQ people in need of legal services come to the matter with great vulnerability. To best serve those individuals and families, Lavender Legal Center must have concern and understanding for their sufferings. Your support of Lavender Legal Center helps further the mission to provide legal services, advocacy, and resources for the LGBTQ community. Together, we can build a more equitable, inclusive, dignified, and compassionate future.
Wingspan is a place full of birds. Your goal is to build a wonderful preserve that will lead you to victory. Learn new facts about birds. Blue jays can carry up to 5 acorns. Discover new species. Help them lay eggs. Gain food. Or even hunt. Become a bird enthusiast. Wingspan, a relaxing strategy game.
Lavender Legal Center is a nonprofit providing legal representation and related advocacy by and for LGBTQ Iowans. Lavender provides direct representation, advocacy, and referrals, with a priority for serving those with low income and LGBTQ youth. Lavender operates with 4 main core values. The first is equity, recognizing that legal aid and related advocacy are basic human rights. Second is inclusivity, providing equal access to services for those who are marginalized. Third is dignity. LGBTQ people are worthy of advocacy no matter their specific need for assistance. And fourth is compassion. LGBTQ people in need of legal services come to the matter with great vulnerability. To best serve those individuals and families, Lavender Legal Center must have concern and understanding for their sufferings. Your support of Lavender Legal Center helps further the mission to provide legal services, advocacy, and resources for the LGBTQ community. Together, we can build a more equitable, inclusive, dignified, and compassionate future.
Wingspan is a place full of birds. Your goal is to build a wonderful preserve that will lead you to victory. Learn new facts about birds. Blue jays can carry up to 5 acorns. Discover new species. Help them lay eggs. Gain food. Or even hunt. Become a bird enthusiast. Wingspan, a relaxing strategy game.
Lavender Legal Center is a nonprofit providing legal representation and related advocacy by and for LGBTQ Iowans. Lavender provides direct representation, advocacy, and referrals, with a priority for serving those with low income and LGBTQ youth. Lavender operates with 4 main core values. The first is equity, recognizing that legal aid and related advocacy are basic human rights. Second is inclusivity, providing equal access to services for those who are marginalized. Third is dignity. LGBTQ people are worthy of advocacy no matter their specific need for assistance. And fourth is compassion. LGBTQ people in need of legal services come to the matter with great vulnerability. To best serve those individuals and families, Lavender Legal Center must have concern and understanding for their sufferings. Your support of Lavender Legal Center helps further the mission to provide legal services, advocacy, and resources for the LGBTQ community. Together, we can build a more equitable, inclusive, dignified, and compassionate future.
Wingspan is a place full of birds. Your goal is to build a wonderful preserve that will lead you to victory. Learn new facts about birds. Blue jays can carry up to 5 acorns. Discover new species. Help them lay eggs. Gain food. Or even hunt. Become a bird enthusiast. Wingspan, a relaxing strategy game.
Lavender Legal Center is a nonprofit providing legal representation and related advocacy by and for LGBTQ Iowans. Lavender provides direct representation, advocacy, and referrals, with a priority for serving those with low income and LGBTQ youth. Lavender operates with 4 main core values. The first is equity, recognizing that legal aid and related advocacy are basic human rights. Second is inclusivity, providing equal access to services for those who are marginalized. Third is dignity. LGBTQ people are worthy of advocacy no matter their specific need for assistance. And fourth is compassion. LGBTQ people in need of legal services come to the matter with great vulnerability. To best serve those individuals and families, Lavender Legal Center must have concern and understanding for their sufferings. Your support of Lavender Legal Center helps further the mission to provide legal services, advocacy, and resources for the LGBTQ community. Together, we can build a more equitable, inclusive, dignified, and compassionate future.
Wingspan is a place full of birds. Your goal is to build a wonderful preserve that will lead you to victory. Learn new facts about birds. Blue jays can carry up to 5 acorns. Discover new species. Help them lay eggs. Gain food. Or even hunt. Become a bird enthusiast. Wingspan, a relaxing strategy game.
Lavender Legal Center is a nonprofit providing legal representation and related advocacy by and for LGBTQ Iowans. Lavender provides direct representation, advocacy, and referrals, with a priority for serving those with low income and LGBTQ youth. Lavender operates with 4 main core values. The first is equity, recognizing that legal aid and related advocacy are basic human rights. Second is inclusivity, providing equal access to services for those who are marginalized. Third is dignity. LGBTQ people are worthy of advocacy no matter their specific need for assistance. And fourth is compassion. LGBTQ people in need of legal services come to the matter with great vulnerability. To best serve those individuals and families, Lavender Legal Center must have concern and understanding for their sufferings.
You guys have.
We are
I
not
made that
muted.
picture.
We are live.
Okay.
FYI.
Yeah. I
Welcome
made that
back.
picture. The one on the holiday. If people want to change it, they're welcome to.
I liked it.
I'm okay with that. If that's how we've decided the ship looks, I am totally fine with it.
Thanks, AI.
There it is. I've made it showed it on the screen.
If you're just joining us, we are Roleplay Give, and we are playing some Esper Genesis today. Our Larcenous Spacefarers are just about to exit Lightspeed, hopefully at Tetra Station. in the Keshite Rift, having made their way off of a planet in a stolen ship. So as you exit hyperspace, a massive space station looms in front of out of the view screen of the ship, and you're immediately struck by the extreme volume of ships and activity. There are probably hundreds of ships that you can see moving around the station, entering, exiting, light speed. Um, it is the station itself is enormous, and you can see that there are multiple landing bays, all marked up as commercial landing areas, places that you can take the ship in. It is extremely active. Um, are you doing anything as you bring the ship in, or just heading toward one of the landing bays?
Oh well, if we could. I mean, eventually we're gonna have to log in as the normal, right? Because we can't, and hope that they don't see that it's a patch name, right?
Maybe we go to a very busy landing bay where they just want to get us in
Yeah,
faster.
yeah.
Paklu, what do you think? Because you
Um,
have a
uh,
voice.
I do. Wherever you want to go, I guess. You're the ones that commandeered the vessel.
No, 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 no.
Yes,
You're
yes,
one
yes,
of
yes, yes,
us
yes, 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 yes,
now.
yes, yes. That's exactly what you did.
But what I'm saying is your survival is, dependent on this as much as ours. So your voice counts as much as well.
In case you didn't understand her, you will die if we
Oh,
don't
that is not.
succeed.
Yeah,
Oh no.
I got that strange mammal person robot thing.
Yes. You will be the first to die, in fact, I will guarantee it.
No, I think it'd be the second one. I think Mr. Normal back there kicked the bucket a little quicker.
Well, that's happening.
You want to go to the Busy Lorry Dock show? We can go there. Just say, there's a lot more traffic there. You can be stuck. We could be stuck there for hours.
Well, find one that is busy, that looks like, they don't want to sit and spend a lot of time on anyone's ship. But don't find one that's like stalled, like so busy that we have to sit there and wait. Active. Active is the word.
Right. I will go to one of those, I guess.
All right.
Oh.
It is not difficult to see a massive docking bay that a lot of ships are entering and exiting. And you fly in and you find a landing area that is open and unobstructed, and bring the ship down. Um, as the hatch hisses open, the first thing that hits you is the sheer scale. From inside, looking out of the ship, the docking bay appears to just go on forever. There's hundreds of ships docked here. There's a small kiosk in front of you that appears to be essentially the parking meter. No one is there to greet the ship as it comes in.
All right. Do any of you have money? Or we just take our ticket and pay later? I don't know how this works.
I don't know what. I have 75. I have no clue what.
75 monies. I like it.
Said currency, 75.
See
you laters.
I have 75 copper. Is that what CU is? I don't know.
I don't know.
Cubal.
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 Okay.
You can also refer to them as credits.
Do we have a sense of what parking costs rack up?
If you want to approach the terminal, you can see it does have a printout on it. And it says that it is 150 credits per day. payable when you exit.
Okay.
So we do get our ticket first and then pay later. Okay.
Well, we better find a way to sell some of this stuff, or we are not getting off this planet or this
Well, get off the
station.
planet legally.
I know you met me under some not so great circumstances, but I am usually a rule follower. I am usually someone who, you know, is
And
above.
this is just the exception, right?
This is, yes.
Commandeering a vessel.
Mhm. I go big or go home, and this I have no home, so I just go big.
I would like to use analyze device, learn how the device works as I touch it.
Okay.
See if the credits are stored in the device itself or if somewhere else. Like, in other words, if I change it locally, will it actually change things, or will it? I need to change it somewhere else. With the possibility of later hacking it.
So everything is stored, is not stored here, but stored sort of centrally. Credits are more of a essentially like using a debit card. There's no actual item. You have a chip that stores your credits, what you have, money wise. There's no coinage.
Or the billing, like the bill itself. Yeah. So that's somewhere else. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is a essentially a node that connects to a greater network that tracks the money. That's going to take it out of your account and put it in their account.
Okay.
Certainly would be possible to hack.
Right.
Now, there were a couple of other things people wanted to do when they exited Lightspeed, and we kind of jumped past that. So if there's anything anybody wanted to have done before landing, I know there was some research when you could access the net and some reaching out to people that wanted to happen. So
I will put on my alley persona and get all in the makeup and dress up of Allie, and then do a video that I'm coming, hey guys, arriving in Keshite. Hear that, it's a banging place to, whatever, and then just, where should I go? And I'm gonna put that video out as soon as we can.
All right, give me a performance check.
All right. Oh, balls.
You've got a reroll.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could use your reroll.
Okay. I don't.
You haven't posted for so long. You don't want to come off like that.
That's true.
It's no fun for the first time you use the thing that you based your character around to be a 2.
That's true.
Well, see, I knew you were better than that, Ali. Take 2.
Yeah, we'll say that you recorded the first one, you looked at it and you thought, I can't post that, and then you took another shot at it.
There we go. All right. And so I'll post that out, and I'll, like, as Paklu suggests, I'll be like, hey, leave comments below for where I should go. And
all right. So
and
you
see
posted
if
that.
Anybody posts up that they're there too, that I should meet them there, and then see if we can find out anything about them after that happens, if it happens.
Yeah. And then Micah, Micah, you had an idea. You wanted to do some research when you had access to the net again.
Well, I just remember that we can't access the net in hyperspace. I'm not the best at researching, but I could kind of see where. I think we were talking about it as far as like just how to unshackle an AI.
Yeah.
Like what needs to happen? Who would be an expert in that? So I don't mind doing the research, but if there's somebody else who I could help someone who's really good at it. I'm noticing a lot of the skills are like intelligence and wisdom based skills, and I am strength and charisma. So
yeah, this would be an investigation to try to find that.
yeah, I'm not very good at investigating, but I can help. Is anyone really good at investigating?
I think I'm halfway decent.
Yeah, Paklu, let us bond together and you can get to know me as a person and not as your captor. Hmm? Let's,
Well, if you want to
research
go
a bit.
that way, I guess here. Let's start on these forums.
Okay.
All right, give
All
me an
right,
investigation check.
all right, Space Reddit. What do we got here? How to free AI from ship? Oh, look, it's the
Holy
first
crap!
tab.
um,
Some
there
of it.
is so Paklu, as you're digging into this, um, there's a lot of talk about AI as sort of in broad strokes, um, and it's not it's not very common. There's not a lot of AIs in the galaxy. Um, there are not, especially not fully self-aware AIs. Um, but as you dig into it, you start seeing references to something called the Veil Nebula and the Noosphere. And these are things that um, essentially every time you see something posted on the equivalent of like Space Reddit about this, there are you'll notice you start noticing that the posts start getting scrambled. Um, like the text starts turning into strange characters and like it's being encrypted. So you're only able to get bits and pieces about the Veil Nebula and the Noosphere, uh, as though something is trying to remove that from the nets.
Oh,
Um,
it looks like the admins have caught on to the thread and don't like it.
Let's just start, though. We know two things more than we did before.
The
um,
noosphere sounds fascinating.
spelled so that's spelled Noosperic, nospheric, and Noosphere, the Noosphere. You see references to both the Noosphere and the Noospheric Sanctuary.
Noospheric sanctuary.
You're thinking these are like some sort of places that have such things?
Yeah. But are they literal or virtual places? I do not know.
I'm seeing a lot of ding wings in this message, so I can't really discern it.
And some of those the shifts happen like in the middle of a word, as though something had like tried to hide what the text that was there.
And we don't know where those things actually are, though, from Space Reddit, right? These could
Correct.
be mythological locations, whereas
And there
like I
are
just said,
so
could
with the
be
Nat 20, you found a number of articles and posts and things people have written about freeing AIs and that sort of thing, and you're quickly able to determine with that check that they don't really know what they're talking about, and the ones that start to look like they're really fleshed out and know what they're talking about are these ones that reference the Veil Nebula and the Noosphere, and those are the ones that are getting scrubbed. So you think of all of the posts that you've found, these are the legitimate ones, and someone's trying to hide them.
well.
I think that is good. We keep our ears open for more information, or if we meet some people that we either have leverage over or we trust that may know some more things, we have a direction.
As you are having done that, jump back to where we're leaving the ship on Tetra Station itself. Holiday will I will keep watch on the ship as you enter the station.
Thank you. That is very kind of you. Do you want any souvenirs or anything that would help you, something we could bring back?
I have never been asked such a question before. I will give it some thought.
Okay. Do you have a way of contacting us remotely? If you
I
think
do
of
have
it?
access to ship's communications. I can reach out to your communication links.
Oh, there you go. So
That's what
text us
we
if you think of something.
text us. um, we have 2 comms, right? Because that's what we ended up procuring 2,
I believe that's true.
and when we were on
Yes, I have a
Policy,
two-way communicator in my
and
inventory.
this Fiverr got the other has the other one, I think, or was it on Jonathan? Because I don't think I have the other one. Maybe I do. No, but
Dawson, did Jonathan have a two-way communicator in his inventory?
I think the established wing was either you. It wasn't him because he had the mental missive spell
Oh, that's
or
right.
talents, so he didn't really
Okay, I know I have
need it.
one. We were just trying to figure out who has
Who
what.
was the operating teams again? The 2 operating pairs, because I know you had one, and whoever was part of the other one with me was not has that one.
We don't. I mean,
you're muted.
somebody has the other one. You
Yeah.
Corey, you're muted.
I don't see it on
I-
either of your sheets, so I
So
would
I think
say just
so I think
go ahead and.
I partnered up with Corey on those ones.
I think no, I think it was anyway. I think it was Micah and I because remember me sitting outside,
Mhm.
or was that earlier? Anyway,
I brought you
It-
coffee.
yeah, we have, and that's why I think you were talking back to them because I wasn't doing anything. So anyway,
So you have another one. You can decide now who has it.
Ken, uh, is for instance, we all have the I don't remember what they're called, the personal data, or not we all, but some of us have
Mhm.
the screens on our arms. Is Holiday able to communicate with that directly, or is it really through the two-way communication?
If you were to pair that with a communicator, she could.
Okay.
Okay.
So you can link a comm unit to that, so that you can receive your messages through your personal
Got
data
it.
unit.
If
Okay.
we split up, what's the likely split? So like Micah has one, then who else should have one?
I'm probably the most noticeable, right?
Oh yeah, you're a giant bunny.
So as you
And
are
so
looking around the docking area, you do see other Ballare around. They all have their own, stylized suits, whatever they've decided to look like.
That one's a giant
You
badger. Sorry.
you really see every species represented. This place is and hundreds of people. You see people. Looks like they're, selling goods out of ships. There's people milling about. You're essentially in the airport. Um, there's little like duty free shops. There's a bar, like right here, right off the spaceport.
Just so that we establish it, I'm going to take the other two-way communicator.
Okay,
And then if somebody else wants it, I'll be happy to transfer it over.
sounds great.
Just so we know who's got what.
And you can see that the traffic, like the massive throng of people, are coming and going through a large gate that looks like it enters into the station proper. As you're heading in that direction, Allie, you get a ping through your personal data unit.
Okay.
There is it's a post tagging you in response to your video that says, "OMG, you're here. You need to go to the Discordant Star," and the username is Kayla, Kaela 17.
Discordant what?
The Discordant Star.
Star. All right. Acknowledging everybody on that. Now, that may not lead us to anything because Kayla 17 may or may not be a great contact and may just want me to help with her contouring. So, uh, I what do we think? Should we at least follow it up? It's at least somebody here who could be friendly.
And you can see that linked to the profile is a full profile of this Kayla 17,
Oh, okay.
essentially
Open it up.
linking to like what looks like her Facebook page.
I'll just open it up so that can everybody see up these? Like, are they the size of an iPad kind of thing, or
It's a smaller screen, but you can
okay?
see it. You
Say
can
like
show it to
okay,
everyone.
it's like a smartphone. Okay, so I'll just open it up and say, okay, this is Kayla 17. What did we learn about her from
As
Space
you
Facebook?
follow the link into the Facebook, it's a Kesh teenager, young woman, white hair in braids.
Oh, I thought they were
Um,
hairless.
some of them are,
Oh, okay.
but yeah, a lot of pictures of. You can see what looks like the space station behind her. Um, Lots of references to different human and Valma bands,
Mm-hmm.
music that she's into, um, and like big smile, lots of pictures taken at concerts and that sort of thing, and a whole lot of posts about Allie, that are very very fandom, like very super innocent, uh, like reaction videos to your videos, that kind of thing.
Nice. Okay. Can I from this data pad find out any of her other than music acts, uh, anything like about her family or anything else? Like, is there anything that she might have a connection to that would be useful? So otherwise, I mean,
Yeah, give me an investigation check.
okay, 20.
You digging into her, like trying to find what you can there. You see that Kyla's it has some connection to a cache by the name of Jax, Jax, um, that has very limited presence online. Like it looks, from what you can tell, probably her dad.
Ah, okay.
Has a very limited dad profile that has not been updated in a couple years, but has a couple of old pictures of what look like army buddies.
Okay. All knowledge, everybody. Um, although I was kind of looking at this with like all of us around the screen, so I imagine they don't need to do a lot.
Yes, we can all read,
Yeah,
Allie, but I
yeah.
appreciate you summarizing it for us.
It's just like sort of a habit from making videos, where you actually have to tell people what you're doing while you're doing it. Sorry. So
Have to fill space with noise.
yes, dead air's bad. So what are we
So
thinking?
I've been playing this game with Shane and one of his kids, and his kid very much has that YouTube mentality. When we're on Discord, they like to fill the space, and they've been told several times, you need to stop doing that. This is not a video. You don't need commentary.
Uh, so that's I just look around and say I don't know if this is a great lead or not. It's something. Um, what's our other hope in here? I mean, we need to find the other lead we have is this sphere and the veil and
Which may not be here at all, you know. I
unlikely.
mean,
Yeah.
there may be people that have more information about it, but
Hmm.
I think that would be difficult to just jump right in and be, hey, you hear about the Veil Nebula? And I said, no, people don't talk about things like that.
Also, what is everyone's passive perception?
Probably like 1.
13 for me.
12.
It,
Not
ooh,
9.
it is 1, but twice.
Oh, really? This is not good.
Yeah.
13 is our highest as a group.
Yep.
We're going to be pickpocketed so easily, guys.
we did not build any cleric.
Not that I'm asking for any particular reason.
Yeah,
Carry on.
right.
No one is listening to us.
It's
I'm sure
okay.
we're perfectly fine.
You know, payday was supposed to be tomorrow, so I didn't get paid at all. So I have no money.
That is unfortunate.
Well, you should have whatever starting money would be.
Or I forgot to write it. One of the two.
Should go ahead and at least give yourself 75 TU.
Well,
I think it
are
makes
you
sense.
taking?
People make. Oh,
Are
sorry.
you bringing any of the cargo with you?
no.
Which cargo are we referring to? Mr. Normal, the spices.
I think we leave normal in, and I think we leave the spices in the thing, right? Here, let's go ahead.
I was wondering too. I was thinking, oh, do we bring samples? But then it's like we don't know the customs procedure here, so maybe we just go through ourselves first and keep things hidden until we know, right?
Yes,
And have contacts and things like that.
100%.
Can I bring my lunch pail?
Is
I
everything
don't think that would be a problem.
is everything in your lunch pail like above board?
Well, I ate my sandwich already, so it's just a plastic bag at this point.
Then why do you want to bring it with you? That is.
Well, I gotta get lunch somewhere.
Oh.
Are you trying to run away?
No.
Oh man.
You realize if you run away,
Listen, I just want lunch, okay? I haven't had a good sandwich recently.
my giant bunny eye is on you.
That is gonna be terrifying.
Yes, I hack my suit so that it literally always just always follows him.
I just want to get the burger. Can we go through in the door, please?
I imagine there's
making
a
your way
burger
up to
joint.
the gate. There is there's a kiosk you'll have to go up to be admitted into the station itself. The cash guards or agents that are working there ask you if you have any cargo that you're bringing in or anything that you're bringing onto the station.
He's bringing a plastic bag. I hope that is okay.
They do ask to look in your lunch pail.
It's like little, just like good, like it's one of the 1920s like metal box that just open, and like all it's in, it's just like a plastic bag that has little breadcrumbs in it.
You are clear to enter.
Okay.
Wait, would we know at this point, like, is it okay to be on the space station with weapons? Is this like the Wild West and you can open carry your weapons, or are you?
You see that people are carrying, like people are armed on board on the station.
Okay, so we don't need to leave like
nothing big. Like you don't see anybody like carrying massive like heavy repeaters or anything like that. But most people you see have visible sidearms and things like that.
So my light pistol, my saber, my combat knife, all of that can go. I can walk through the customs. With
They don't.
that.
Yeah, they aren't. They are not regulating that. They don't seem to have any issue with it. You do see that there are a lot of like uniformed guards around, like a police force, that are more heavily armed and armored.
I'm gonna go out of my way because I am dressed up in my alley persona. I'm gonna go out of my way to like show that they're all concealed about and show them that they're concealed. Because I don't think my net personality walks around with like weapons on belts and stuff, so that I'm showing them as
Mhm.
concealed and a bunch of stuff. But I'm not showing obviously all of my illegal stuff like my infiltration tools and all of that stuff. So, but
Yeah.
make a big show of it.
So the galaxy there is a lot of a sort of a Wild West feel
Okay.
because there is being such a huge place, there's no way to police it all, and there is active piracy, there is theft, there is crime, so
Gotcha.
it is very normal for people to be armed, because there's threats everywhere.
This isn't like going on into the airport of a United States airport really as much. It's just
No,
come in and check in. Okay. Well,
right.
that's what we do. All right.
But we probably should ask when we're here where to, bury a friend. Otherwise, the ship will not smell so good
Okay.
after we return.
Yeah,
You
that's a
did a great job, Allie, but
no. I did no offense is taken. Uh,
We could use the airlock now that we're out of.
that's
Just boop, just sitting on the deck in the landing bay.
no,
well,
no.
once we're in just normal
Here's
space.
our burial at sea.
Um,
You said wait until we're out of
Kurt Funk.
travel.
We did, yes.
Leave
No, I
his
think
body on the deck.
that's a good idea. Other than they might ask where do we want it sent or whatever, and where, I mean, to Saul, I guess. Care of the normal people
I
of
feel
Saul.
I knew so little about Mr. Jonathan Normal.
Travel through all the normal channels.
But that is a good
You want to
idea.
ask the agent?
Or we maybe see where they could do a cremation, and then we scatter him amongst the stars.
Perfect. And I think that's a great idea. Also, Paklo needs a burger. I don't want him getting cranky.
Do you think the
Fiverr makes
discordant
sure
star
that he's
has?
just getting a burger.
That's right.
Yeah,
Are you asking the agent about?
I would
Okay.
Okay.
about yeah.
Uh, your fallen comrade. What sort of remembrance are you looking for?
He wants to be cremated and dispersed amongst the stars.
What culture does he hail from, and what sort of ceremony might be required?
He is a very normal human, Terran.
Ah, Terran procedures. You may need to seek Anya Amari. She is the ambassador to Terra here on Tetra. The embassy may have more insight into human customs.
Oh, all right. He was away from human customs for a very long time, but we will ask at the embassy with the
Uh,
ambassador.
Ambassador Amari certainly would be better able to answer your question than I would. I apologize for my lack of knowledge of the
Oh,
culture.
no, no, no. You are very helpful, pointing us in the right direction. Do you also know where to get a good burger?
A
Soul Terran.
burger?
Yes, that is what Paku said, right? That is a
I
thing?
like burgers.
A burger.
Do you have any Western themed, like, sorry, from Seoul? Do you have any Terran food here? Is it near the embassy?
Oh,
When
yes, certainly there would be Terran food near the embassy. There are, I believe, several purveyors of such wares within the Neon Labyrinth as well.
Is and
when they butcher the animals, do you feel the pain?
I do not butcher animals.
boy, that was dark.
I'm a gate agent.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
sorry. Last
I sometimes feel the pain of those who are entering and exiting.
Oh,
Not that they're butchered.
no, of course. Well,
This is a strange
I
line of
guess you would
questioning.
feel. I read up on you. Not you, but your people, and I have so many questions to ask.
Well, I apologize, but there is something of a line forming. This may not be the time to answer them.
I see. I will be back then.
His empathy extends to the line. I feel bad for all the people
I'm
standing
sensing,
behind you.
I'm sensing a lot of irritation and impatience from behind you.
Yeah, yeah. Just, I'm sorry. One last question before we go. I'm sorry. Is the discordant star in the labyrinth, the neon labyrinth as well, or is that in anywhere near the Terran embassy?
Oh, the discordant star is located within the labyrinth, certainly.
Okay, then.
The embassy is
Right.
not.
Okay.
Maybe they have burger there.
I don't think embassies are known for their burgers.
I don't know. I once went to like a furniture store and had meatballs there once. It was really weird.
That does sound very strange. A very strange combination.
Well, I think maybe job one is as we move away from the and get out of I don't want to.
Yeah, you're the gate is open. You can enter into the station itself. Uh, Immediately, you're struck by the difference between here and Fall Sea. Here, everything is brightly lit. There is neon and moving lights and imagery and drones lighting up the sky. There is an artificial sky above this section of the station that you're in, and you can see a massive sign saying Neon Labyrinth, leading into a huge commercial section. Um, and you can see even from just here stands selling all sorts of species operating small booths, stands, storefronts, selling just about anything you can imagine, um, and hundreds of thousands of people, hundreds, if not thousands of people, not hundreds of thousands. That would be a lot of people moving about. That, uh, but it looks as though it goes on for miles.
Do we go that way first or towards the embassy and maybe discover things that direction? We have choices.
That is true, and you could go meet your fan, and some of us could go to the embassy.
And I would say that you did ask the agent where the discordant star was, as well as the embassy, and they will have given you directions to both.
Okay.
Okay.
Although I
Though
do
they
think
will
maybe.
warn you that the labyrinth is aptly named,
Oh
and it
no.
is possible. You'll need to follow the directions very carefully.
Oh, maybe we should stick together.
Ooh, look at this one. They're selling fancy hand warmers.
um, is that gloves, or are you talking about like?
You know, things that warm hands. You know, well, just look at them. They're right there. Just look at it.
The name's right on the tin. It's a hand warmer. Uh,
Warmer of hands. They're good.
My claws are just fine.
maybe
I
we.
do not have cold claws.
Is that a claw sharpener I see over in the next booth?
Are we going into the neon labyrinth, or do we want to go to the embassy first?
I I do think it should be a priority to get the corpse off of our ship,
I
but you know,
I I actually agree, and I think we'll actually maybe we have a better chance of finding out things about if we ask the right people about the veil and the Noah sphere uh, at an embassy rather than from somebody who really likes my music. Thank you.
I do not know. I don't think official people will talk about things that are being scrubbed in the net. They will be like, "What?
What if?
Area 51? That does not exist.
What
No,
if
you
they
are
are
crazy."
scrubbers?
Yeah, they may be the scrubbers.
What if you are the scrubber, and the only reason why I couldn't get it is because you stopped me?
Well,
Mm?
I'm not very good at computers, so I scrub rocks. That is all.
That sounds so.
It's exciting.
Um,
It's very. There are
yes,
so many
exciting.
rocks in the universe.
Exciting is the word I was going to use. Yes, indeed.
Mhm.
Rocks.
And minerals as well. Rocks, minerals. Yes.
Those are two different things.
Oh, I will educate you, my friend. So I don't know, Corey, if you were hearing well when you were getting your stuff, but we were thinking maybe getting the corpse off the ship is probably our priority. So going to the embassy first. Okay.
That works. Sorry,
Okay.
I'm still muted.
Right. So the Terran embassy is not within the labyrinth. The
Right.
directions are easier to follow. You do need. It's a bit of a walk. It's a long distance away from the spaceport. Um, but you get to the building stands out from the others around it in that it is modeled on Terran architecture. Um, the other architecture on the ship is difficult for you to really comprehend because the Kesh don't always work in Euclidean geometry. They're the and particularly because you're on a station where all of the gravity is artificial. Um, a number of their structures have curves and angles that just don't match with how a structure should be formulated. Um, and a number of like they have uh, entire walls that are constructed with like a liquid within a containment field with bioluminescent jellyfish floating inside of it, and that is a wall. It's that everything is just so very different than Fall Sea was. Um, it's bright lights, it's strange angles and curves, it's different species, and it's a lot more jovial than you've ever seen crowds before. But the Terran embassy stands out as it is embracing Terran architecture and much more subdued than a lot of the Keshite structures within the station itself. Um, as you approach, Allie is certainly welcome immediately, but the rest of you are getting strange looks as this is the Terran embassy, and they're wondering what your business is here. You're stopped by a Terran guard in heavy armor with a large rifle, who's standing at the gate to the embassy.
So
Uh,
many columns.
So
yeah,
few jellyfish.
really into symmetry. Um, sorry, I'm sorry, we're travelers, and unfortunately, we were traveling with a Terran, like myself, and well, he got hurt and did not survive that hurt as we were traveling on our way here, and we were just trying to inquire on how best uh, for him to be appropriately sent on to the next life, so to speak.
Uh, uh, we can help with the logistical side of that, less the spiritual.
Oh no, I don't know
I
that.
can.
He was not very much. He was very much into practical normal matters. He was not into the paranormal. Uh, very much the normal. We don't need anything paranormal as for sending him off to the next life. Just more what how to dispose of his body most appropriately and respectfully.
Ah, um, Let me get you to one of the clerks who might be able to help with that.
Okay. As he walks away, I'm just like, do you think there's a Jonathan Paranormal? That would be awesome.
In an alternate universe, I am sure.
And considering he was a melder, I think he might have been Jonathan Paranormal.
I feel like he used a lot of fancy words for saying, "Can we get the dead body off our ship?"
I find it unusual too.
You really like dressed it up and everything.
Did you even try the airlock?
Well, not while we're docked.
Although-
We didn't. No, because I feel like that's just throwing him on to the dock floor. But I suppose we could just.
So the guard has gone in to get a clerk. Do you want to wait for him, or?
Not necessarily. What do we want to do?
Well, I think Micah is a little bit more like, like respectfully, we don't want to just dump because she doesn't know the cultures of the Terran or what Jonathan's wishes would have been. So Micah's inclined to wait for the clerk. Unless, you guys convince her otherwise.
So we're standing here. There's guard.
There might be a
He's gone.
There might be a restaurant with burgers here, is what Ed was saying earlier too. Not at the embassy,
Nearby.
but in the area. So you guys might be able to find that burger Buckley's looking for, if you don't want to be here for this part. But I kind of want to ask a couple more questions for other assistants once he gets here, such as where would we do research here if we were looking for. I mean, I don't want to just say, this thing that's getting scrubbed off of Space Reddit, but
Now, unless we say it was Jonathan Normal that was looking into it,
yes.
and that is why he died. Oh, he was looking into something he shouldn't.
Yeah, we could report that he was maybe murdered and maybe start something with the Terran embassy.
That sounds like a wonderful idea.
Lying to an embassy seems like a great idea in general. I just want to say that on stream.
You are the reason I am retiring as soon as I can. People like you. Stop it. Leave the poor workers of the embassy alone. I'm triggered. Where's the X card?
The X card.
No embassy talk.
No.
No lying to the embassy.
If we could work some higher ed into this game, that'd be great.
No.
That's when I leave. That's all called there.
Okay.
Micah, how strong are you?
Adequately strong to support my rig. I have
Do
a
you
plus
think you
4
could
in
throw
strength.
him over the fence?
What? I mean,
Who is the one you're referring to?
Should. There is, yes, I probably could, but should I? I don't think you are understanding why we are here, Fiverr. It isn't so much just to dispose of a body. It is to dispose of a body in a respectful way because it was our friend's body.
Yes, I suppose.
I'm not sure you quite know that. There was a pause there. Do you?
But
How do fluffy, bigger creatures dispose of their deceased?
they scream loudly. And then the book is silent. I know not.
The book is
They lay there. You are really testing my knowledge of a book I read 25 years ago.
Don't worry, I haven't even touched it once in my life.
It's, in fairness, well worth it. It's not a kid's book.
No. No,
Yeah.
it is not.
I'm waiting for guard. It's okay.
How long do we have to be respectful? Is the time done?
Well, so I'm not sure how if it would be considered space litter to just dispose of a body like you are suggesting. I do not know the proper. I've never been off the moon, right? So I do not know the rules. I don't know if shooting a corpse out of our whatever airlock thing it would be problematic.
I spend
It'd be more problematic in the spaceport.
Well, that I am pretty sure about. But just in general, honestly, Micah doesn't like, is that like throwing a body out of the back of a truck in the country? Like, is it equivalent to that? Or
It's it's like sleeping with the space fishes.
or is
I
it
would
like,
say
on the
I would
waters?
say you'd be aware that it's much more like a burial at sea.
Okay, burial at sea. Yeah. Guys, I'm not trying to slow it down. I
No.
mean, if you guys want to just dump them out an airlock and move on, I'm not trying to show like I
No.
just didn't know if there was a proper way to go about doing this. So that was all.
um, while we wait for the clerk to come out, Fiverr is going to list all the pertinent laws based on database accessing regarding litter, space litter, and
Mhm.
Nice.
disposal of bodies
Uh,
in a monotonous single sentence.
and the big thing that you take out of that is that out far enough from anywhere, there's no laws at all about depositing a body. You would not be breaking any laws by leaving a body in the deep space somewhere.
Well, then we probably should have done that on the way here rather than to have it sit in the port while we do all our stuff and oh,
You
live
know,
and
you
learn.
you want you wanted to get here first. What can I say?
Live and learn. What? Right. All right. Well, like I said, guys, I'm not trying to slow down if we
You
don't
can
want to
see the
hang out at
guard
the embassy.
coming back with a rather mousy looking, darker skinned human Terran man behind him, heading back to the gate. Are you waiting for them?
Yeah, we're
Okay.
here.
Um, the guard gets back to the post, and the who you assume to be the clerk comes forward. Um, Hello, I understand that you've had an unfortunate occurrence on your travels here.
Yes.
I'm Tahir. I'm a clerk here in the embassy. Can I help you?
Uh, yes. Just wanting to not disrespect our fallen. Uh, well, I mean, are we going with this? He was potentially murdered for what he was investigating in. We want to roll the dice on that. Because if we do, I'm gonna
I'm
go for
open
it.
to it because I don't think it's a topic we can just bring up
Yep.
in casual conversation, right?
Yep.
So
Um,
maybe it will get us somewhere.
I I think part of the reason we wanted to come here is we have reason to believe he was murdered.
Oh, um, not on on the station or not on the station?
Not on the station.
Oh, that. I don't mean to sound crass, but that makes things much easier for me.
Understood. Good. Our goal wasn't to make things difficult. We just wanted to make sure that, none of this. We just wanted to report it and make sure that all of
Yeah,
our. He would have
a
liked
Terran
all
murder
of
on the
his.
station certainly creates issues for us. But your help me understand what it is you're looking for from the embassy.
Well, he would have liked all of the T's crossed and I's dotted in regards to how his body was handled. He was a um, very normal but also very precise man. Um, the thing is he had been inquiring after a couple of things, and before he died, he thought that perhaps he was in danger, and we thought perhaps since we're now connected with him that maybe we should make a report to some officials.
And how did he die?
I don't remember how was he shot to death.
I think he
Oh
was
yeah,
shot
shot
to
right,
death.
right in the face. It was
Okay.
bad.
Okay. Um, he was shot in the face.
That does does that does suggest not a natural death then.
Yes. No, it was pretty clear. Um,
The murder suspicions are there. There's some evidence there.
no, I guess the murder's not really the part that's mysterious. It's the rationales for the murder. He wasn't doing anything, absolutely nothing wrong. There was nothing illegal happening at the time of his death.
Give me a deception check as
Okay.
as the lady doth protest too much.
You see, his murder isn't the issue. It's the issues that come for us.
Gosh.
Oh, not my best work.
That's enough though.
Okay.
Uh, and you believe he was looking into something he shouldn't have been?
Yes, I'm sorry. It's he just mentioned it once. I'm not even sure I'll be able to pronounce it right. The noospheric I wrote it.
Chapel or
Sanctuary.
the
Yeah, chapel.
yeah, sanctuary.
Sanctuary.
No,
Yes.
maybe
Yeah. Like something for
Uh,
wildlife or something like that.
that's not something I'm familiar with.
Okay.
But
Well,
well,
I mean,
there's lots of
would you happen to know because he
theories.
said he thought it was somewhere near the Vale Nebula.
I don't. That not a nebula that I'm familiar with. I don't believe we have an embassy in the place by that name.
Okay, well, that's just purely curiosity. The other bits is we just before we uh, before we figured out. I'm Terran, but I don't. I've never been to the home world. Is there anything we should be doing with his body to best like should we be contacting? I don't even know how to contact his family.
Well, do you, I mean, I suppose we can attempt to help with that. I'm not certain about the who's handling. Not to be indelicate, but there are certain costs associated with burials and services. Is that something that you're prepared to handle, or I,
Hmm. I guess more than anything, if we ended up just we just didn't want to be indelicate, but if a burial at space is is appropriate in this situation, that we just wanted to do right by our friend and have someone note that he had passed. More than
oh
anything.
well, certainly I
I, I
can
I look at
if you have his.
I look at my colleagues as I say that because I'm not sure that's totally what we want to do. Is that everybody okay
we
with
don't
that?
even have money to pay the
We
parking
we
fee.
we
We don't
really
have money for
yeah
that.
yeah
So I think you kind of get that
yeah.
impression, like,
So
yeah.
yeah, I look at you all like we are such a bunch of misfit. I really get the first couple episodes of any like but what a bunch of jackasses we are
Uh,
like
if you
sorry.
if you'd like to give us his information, I can certainly enter it into the records. His passing.
Okay, and at this point, I'm going to make the judgment call there that I will give his name as John Q. Paranormal
It's
because
an interesting name.
his name Jonathan Normal might be on record of Full of Sea and it might track back to us. So I'm gonna just give that name. Who knows? I don't know what
Right.
all.
And you don't happen to have his identification or anything that we might be able to
Oh,
trace back? Just a name?
it's possible that we do have his identification. We'd have to go back to the ship to get that.
You
Oh,
didn't.
he's
You wrapped
hmm.
him up in.
And I didn't take anything off of his body. I did nothing. I just
We want
wrapped.
to unwrap that.
I'm not gonna unwrap him. I'm At this point, everything that I was hoping would happen didn't happen. So I'm like abort.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Well, we'll. I'll see if we can enter that information. I'm not sure we'll be able to find this particular John Q. Paranormal,
It's a very normal name.
but it's really it's not. That's a name that stands out a bit. I don't know that I've ever met another paranormal.
Well, someday
I
hope
believe
you
the
can.
way he pronounced it, the para was silent.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
That is not less interesting.
Well, this has been very helpful. Thank you.
Is there anything more any more we can assist you with?
Can you tell us is there any hamburgers at any of these restaurants nearby?
Oh, yes. You're looking for Terran food?
Yes.
Try the Rusty Rocket.
That does not sound delicious, but thank you.
And he'll give you directions to the
That's
restaurant.
That's what happened when Red Rocket gets through a couple of mergers after a few years.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
right. Red Rocket got rusty. Okay. Okay. Anything else, guys?
Thank you. I
Did we
learned
find
so
a place
much about your
to
culture.
bring the body or no?
No, we learned nothing.
We're just gonna,
Do-
we're just
do
gonna
you
throw
have-
him in space.
Basically, they told us it would cost money, so we all kind of were like,
we're
"Oh,
just
yeah."
we're gonna do exactly what you thought we should do in the first place. We're gonna take
Uh-huh.
off and drop them out the airlock when we leave, before we go light speed.
Do you have downloadable database of local information we can use?
See, that's a good question.
Oh, yes. Let me. I'll get you a chip. And he
Perfect.
brings you a small, essentially like a USB jump drive that is basically it's like the tourist brochure.
Right. We publish lists of lawyers and doctors and all that stuff. So
Yeah,
figured
yeah.
something like
That's what he gives you. So it's those lists, but also like sites of interest,
that.
places
Right.
to visit.
I'll and while we're walking wherever, I will look through search through the database and look for places that I don't know, might catch my eye or based on things we were talking about. I don't have anything specific. Just computing in my spare time.
Yeah.
What you did, Ali, though, was a helpful thing because now if we ever want to do research on Vale Nebula or whatever, we use John Q Paranormal, right, as an alias. And he's dead, but from beyond the grave, he's continuing to research.
He could be like
Para is
Mhm.
not pronounced.
right. Silent para. Oh, we could create an entire like fake identity around him and everything. It'd be like
Like a pen name.
it'd be like making up an entire
He'll live
story
on
of a
forever.
serial killer and bringing it up over and over everywhere you go.
You name your pens, Papu?
Oh yeah, we got Philip, we got Terrence over here.
That little pocket protector.
Yes,
Jonathan once told me he names his pens.
Oh,
They were his best friend.
that is so deeply, deeply sad.
he's not an
Come
exciting
here,
man.
Sharpie. Look at this
Yeah.
Excel spreadsheet.
It's a thing of beauty.
We're taking Dawson's character and turning it into something completely different.
I don't know
never
that that's
believe
Okay.
that different.
I don't.
Not
it
really.
doesn't feel that different, but maybe.
Okay.
He's got Crayola, he's got Sharpie.
Oh
This
no.
is Vic.
He gives them such interesting names too.
It's all very.
I call
normal.
this one Red. It
Vic.
writes in red.
So we're gonna go to the Rusty Rocket, I think, to get lunch. Because I do want to make sure Paklu gets lunch.
All
I'm
right,
feeling
you,
very guilty about.
a very short walk away from the embassy is what looks to be a converted repurposed cargo transport module that's been crafted into this Terran restaurant. There is a food counter, a few tables, and neon signs, pictures of uh, a rough approximation of a burger.
Okay.
Very different than what was called a burger on Fall of Sea, but whether or not this is more or less accurate, none of you are really in a position to know.
No.
Is it square like Wendy's?
Some of them are.
They don't cut corners. I don't like it.
Their quality control guy took the week off, huh? Some are square, some are round, a couple are triangular. I. Did we get a heavy?
Hello, counter worker man. I would like one burger.
Yes, sir. What sort would you want? We have a special today on the Volnan Glow Shrimp Burger.
Oh, that shrimp that glows in burger? That sounds wonderful. I'll have.
And Micah, you're familiar. This is a Volnan dish, it's glow shrimp.
I do like the gold shrimp. They're very glowy.
4 glowy shrimp burger.
Coming right up, sir.
Anyone want any sides? See one of these dishes? No one?
No, I'm good.
Anything
Fi-
to drink? We have a fine selection of earth brews.
What is this shake of milk you talk about?
Oh, you've never had a milkshake?
I don't think I've even had milk.
Well, we don't actually have any milk, but we have an approximation.
I like approximating.
And it'll get you a milk, quote unquote, milkshake.
I get 4 burgers, 4 milkshakes.
I was just about to ask if I heard a question.
That it will be it's 25 credits per,
Oof.
so that's 100 credits.
Fuck!
All right.
Oh,
I've got.
man, credits aren't worth a lot. Oh, jeez.
I've got 92 credits. So-
Boy, let me check my terminal. I got, let's see, that's a 7 and that's a 5. Boy, I can pay for 3 of these. Wait, it's fine. The rabbit doesn't need to eat these, just mechanical parts. It's okay. I buy 3 burgers because the other one doesn't need anything.
Oh, he's energy.
I will chip
don't
in.
know.
I will chip in 50, and
I can pay for mine.
No, I insist.
No,
So if you give me, this is gonna give me 11 in the long run. So just let me do this, please.
I intended to buy it for you, but okay. While we're sitting there, I would ask Fiverr if there's anything on that, local information, local Terran drive that's of use. Like, what would we be looking for? Like, uh,
Spice markets.
what I kind of want to know is, what I kind of want to know is if they say anything about the Neon Labyrinth, about like whether or not it's advised for Terrans to, where to go, where not to go, if there's any, like,
Right.
would there be any publishing like that, like these are dangerous places from an embassy, or because wherever the dangerous places are, I think that's where we want to go. Or at least it's a place to go, because if we're going to try to move the spice, that's where we need to go.
There definitely is reference to places that that Terran tourists are advised to avoid within the station itself and within the Neon Labyrinth. Not the labyrinth as a whole. There's a lot of half the pages have ads for locations within the Neon Labyrinth. It's
Sure.
the labyrinth's finest synth pop bar and stuff like that. That is they're the labyrinth is a huge draw of the station.
Right.
But there are locations within it that that Terrans are advised to avoid. One that jumps out is there's a tavern that there are several warnings listed about called the Mind's Eye. And there's also other just sort of sections of it that they warn are unsafe to enter into.
My thought is this week, maybe I say I'm going to connect up with Kaylee 17, but we also check out this Mind's Eye place.
And I am curious, those frequencies that we blocked, is there any way to trace a frequency to a person or a place? Or is that not, is it like a phone number or an IP address or
Um,
or is it completely
I would say it would
different
not
from,
be easy to do, but
okay.
certainly with hackers' tools, if you could gain access to the station's network, you could find that.
Because it might be helpful to know who those people were,
Mm-hmm.
even if we just avoid them.
Good idea.
Yeah. Now that you're on the station, it would not be too difficult to connect to its networks, and I would say you could use a hacker's tools check to try to gain that information if someone would like to try.
Sure. Sorry, there it is.
Nice.
Right, you have the three numbers that you blocked. One, you track to a person. The only name listed is Zagir, which is Z apostrophe GR. Another is Xylos, which is ZY apostrophe LOS. And tracking that one, there is a connection to like a social media presence for a Volna artist creating virtual art, sculptures and paintings and that sort of thing. And the other is for a Dr. Uvalis Koronax. Um, the interesting thing you note with the 19, the Zagir contact actually links to the Mind's Eye.
Okay, maybe we don't go there.
I will enhance my screen a few times and show the GUI to
Enhance.
everyone else,
Enhance.
so they can see the circle close in on the Mind's Eye.
Okay.
Well, I mean, it is not a problem to go there as long as we aren't like, hey, we have this ship. We're asking about the holiday, you know.
Um, while we're checking stuff out, like we're all able to check our data pads and everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna just see if there's any want, APBs wants on us. Anybody looking for us?
Give me an investigation check.
Okay. And then I might check the shadow net to see if there's any bounties on us on the other side. So, that was my checking all of the law enforcement channels, 14. And then,
You are not able to find any reference to the holiday or any of you on any official channels.
I speak ShadowNet, which is be able to like go on like the dark web kind of thing is the way my understanding of it was.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah.
some,
Give me a. I mean, I don't.
it's just a
Yeah. Give me
language
another
thing.
investigation check using that.
It's just looking in a different area.
Yeah.
But, yeah, nothing. Okay.
Yeah. No reference at all.
Okay.
We should be
Because
safe then.
Desh may.
So that's
Desh
the
may
equivalent
go.
of thieves can't.
Yeah, it's the equivalent
Right?
of Thieves Can't. Yeah, but it's like on they were talking about it being like on the net. You can communicate with other
Mhm.
people, and so it's just like, oh, I kind of see that as being like the dark net, the dark web, or
So the
whatever.
other thing I would say in Kayla 17's profile and response to you, you are absolutely certain that there is no ShadowNet connection there.
Yeah, I'm
Like,
fairly certain she's the only reason I would go there is just to keep up the ruse of having been there. Um, um, but maybe,
Well, and it's not bad to have a friend that is, knowledgeable about the area,
yeah.
right?
Do we all want to see her? Do we want to split that up a little bit so that we don't all get, here's all my,
I don't need to see your fan
yeah.
unless you are wanting to show her off to us. I don't.
I don't have any need for that. Um, um, okay. Hmm. Well, shall we head to the labyrinth then? Seems like all things point in that direction. I'm assuming the Volnan artist also is located in the Neon Labyrinth.
yes.
And then this Dr. Yuvala Koranax, is there anything else we can determine from normal channels about this person?
If somebody would like to give me an investigation on that, you may.
I'm rolling like poop.
Anybody good at investigating things?
I'm okay.
Oh,
But
there,
that's
Paklu.
yeah.
Okay.
Paklu, you're able to find reference to Koranax Laboratories, is a science lab on the station, not within the labyrinth, but and you can find with that check a reference on the net to Dr. Uvala is a Promethean scientist operating out of that laboratory. Um, with the 22, you also find a couple of articles and things written that are very unfavorable about her morality.
You know, I read this thread once, and it seems like this person not really well liked overall.
Well, and I wonder, like, we need some of the same things if we wanted to finish, the cloaking device or the disguise harness. Um, we don't have to say that we stole the ones from Dash. I don't know. They still may be good contacts for us, but not top priority. I think getting Ellie to her fan is important right now. Maybe scoping out the mind's eye.
Okay. Sorry, I just read up quickly on Prometheans. So, uh, okay.
Well, I have images, don't I? I could put something up.
I think. I wonder if this Uvalis Coronex is the intended recipient of this spice, potentially? Could be. That's a big leap of logic. We don't really have any data to support that. Just wondering if those are the four most likely here to contact him, or at least the ones that have been frequently. Those are the numbers that Holiday said were most used from this area.
Oh, I was thinking the mind's eye would be the spice, and the Promethean would be the scientists with the missing components. But
Oh, you're right.
that was my assumption.
Oh,
Hey,
we don't have.
who knows?
Well, let's head to the mind's eye then.
You're going to leave Kayla 17 hanging?
I'm not. I'm not. I'll go to the I'll go to the Discordant Star and go to a rave.
All right. The star is within the Shadow Labyrinth. Please give me survival checks to get there. Or one survival check for the group. Whoever would like to do that, if anyone is proficient, they may give advantage on that. Um,
I am proficient in survival.
Anybody have a good score in it?
Not great at it, but I'm proficient in it. So
I am not proficient. I do have a 2 for it because I rolled pretty well
I
for
have a
my
plus
character.
3 in
Okay.
survival, and if I can roll at an advantage, it
Well,
might
is
be
anybody
okay.
else
I don't know.
proficient to give? No, you're it for proficiency, Robin.
Okay,
Oh, all right. Let's do it. Yay!
there we go.
Okay. You enter the neon labyrinth, and the tight lanes and stalls bend and wind through various storefronts and booths and stalls as throughout the labyrinth. Sounds of various languages, some you know, many you don't. Hawking wares, calling out the things that they're selling, uh, and as you wind through them, you believe that you're on your way to the discordant star when you enter into a space between two buildings, and as you're passing through, a drone hovers into view on the far end, and a bright floodlight lights up on all of you, uh, and you see the drone is armed, and a voice from behind you says, "Well, now Desh put a big bounty out on those who took the holiday.
Damn
Lucky
foreign
for you,
investigation.
lucky for me, I found you first." And turning around, you see an ashen forge behind you, with a rifle pointed in your direction. And that is where we will pick up next time.
Ooh. All right. Now I have to look up Passion Forge. Okay. All right.
So, thank you for joining us for Esper Genesis, Holiday in the Keshite Rift. Uh, we, as we've said at the beginning, we are a role play give. You can join us again next time. I believe tomorrow's game is canceled due to too many conflicts, but next weekend we should be back with some Dungeons and Dragons on Sunday, and hopefully Monday as well. Until then, roll some dice, play some games, and give your time or treasure to meaningful causes. Thank you for joining us.
Bye, everybody.